what we are doing is BT evening. I go by those names. Saying I did BT around 12 years ago and been tutoring it for 6 years. In that time, I've been recouping my investment in FCCA, nowadays, BOU, and more of a risk reviewer. And feel free to text me on that number, okay? So that is a little bit about me. So I'll be taking you through the BT exam. BT is not a very difficult paper. It's largely a theory exam, okay? What you're going to do, we get very small bits about so many things about a business, okay? So in BT, you're going to learn what we're supposed to find in a business, how a business is structured, how they behave, what guides their decisions. But we're only learning a shallow theory about the businesses. So, like I said, I was here around 12 years ago. So I believe it's a very good foundation. How to pass it, all you have to do is to read early, okay? Don't wait for it to bulk up for you to read, given it's a theory. So you have to start digesting it as soon as you start receiving the notes, okay? So also feel free to always attempt the questions. Then how is the exam structured? So the BT syllabus is separated into 6 components. That is the business organization and its external environment. Like I said, you're going to study about the business. And then, so this is an introductory paper to introduce you to what happens in a business. So we start by understanding the environment in which the business operates. Then the second part has organizational structure. How is the organization structured? Okay. There we shall be looking at functional matrix, okay, borders. Then the next one, we shall be looking at business functions, regulations, and technology. How has technology impacted the businesses? Then the next part, it's leadership and management. How is our businesses governed? Which principles guide governance of different businesses? We shall note when you're looking at these, different businesses have different governance mechanisms. For example, the governance mechanism used at MAT or in another commercial entity is not the same governance mechanism used by the police or the army. Okay, so that is leadership and management. So here we shall see why different leaders are required in different scenarios. Then personal effectiveness and communication. How do you become better as an SEC accountant? That is personal effectiveness and also communication. How do you communicate better? Then that's the professional ethics. Okay, so these are the 6 components of our BT syllabus. Any questions up to now? Then the BT exam. The BT exam is a computer-based exam, so multiple choice. Okay, it involves sometimes matching. Remember the matching we used to do in P1 and P2? Yeah, sometimes we shall do some of that matching. Okay, so it's multiple choice. You choose between A, B, C, or D. Or sometimes you may be required to select multiple answers. Okay, so that is how the BT looks like. It has 2 sections. Section A and Section B. So this is Section A, and this is Section B. Section B is made up of 6 4-mark questions. Okay? So where do the 6 4-mark questions come from? In each of the sections we observed earlier, okay, we shall be getting one question. One question per section. Okay. So in every section, we shall be getting what that means. In every section, we are sure of getting at least one 4-mark question from either ethics, personal effectiveness, leadership, business organization and culture. The other one was business environment. So in all those, we shall receive one question from each of those sections. Okay. Then for the 76 marks, those will come from across the entire syllabus. Okay. That means this one question also is coming across, but this is specific. But this comes across the entire syllabus. So here we have 16 1-mark questions where the question only attracts 1 mark. And then we have 30 2-mark questions. Okay. So now that's section A. Section A has 76 marks. Section B has 24 marks. Okay. So I was talking about number entry, numerical response, multiple choice questions. So that's the nature of all the questions. How do we pass this exam? Ensure you study the entire syllabus. Like I said, don't wait for it to bulk up. So be grinding it out consistently, portion by portion. Okay. So whatever topic we are done, go through it again. So after going through a topic, go through the study kit plus the revision kit. The revision kit is organized in terms of topics. So the same topics here are the same topics in the revision kit, but these are entirely questions. Okay. So every time we're done with the particular topic, go back and go through the study kit and also attempt the questions within the revision kit. Then the other aspect of passing BT is managing time. Don't dwell on a number, okay? If it's confusing and you can't remember it well, please move on. So how do you manage time? Don't spend more than 1.2 minutes earning a mark. This is approximately 1.2 times 60, should be around 72 minutes. Sorry, 72 seconds. Don't spend 72 seconds earning a mark. So that means on the other 1-mark questions, the maximum you can spend is 72 seconds. On the 2-mark questions, the maximum you can spend is 144 seconds. Okay? And on the 4-mark questions, the maximum you can spend is 288 seconds. Okay? So try to manage your time better. But how do you do that? If you know, you know. So if they're asking about something small, okay, they ask about something and the answers already given to you. So they're asking the BT evening tutor. The answer is obvious. It is Simon. Okay. So instead of spending 72 on that, you come and use around 5 seconds for reading the question, then 1 choosing the option. Okay. That is how you manage. So you keep saving time. However, this is 72 seconds is maximum time you can spend if everything fails. And that's why I'm asking, don't overdo it on the number. So use the time to spend it on a number you understand, okay? But also don't leave the option blank. Take a gamble. So when you reach a number B or number 13 and you're not sure, take a gamble and say, let me gamble B. However, you note it and say, I need to revisit 13 in case I have time, okay? Because the options are there for you. So sometimes gambling may have to be applied. So that is how we can easily pass BT. That don't wait it to bulk up, grind it out. And then the other thing is actively attend class, okay? Ask questions. And when we ask, also respond to the questions, okay? So where you find challenging theories, in BT, there's nothing correct or definitely wrong. The opinions, okay? And these opinions we're going to exchange. So it's better when you come here and say, speak out your mind, okay? BT is going to be like, the way we're going to connect is going to more be like a discussion, okay? I'll come and talk, you engage, okay? Why you feel it's not right? For example, if somebody asks you, is Uganda a democracy? Another person will say yes, another person will say no, okay? Person saying yes has their own reasons, like we conduct elections every 5 years. Another person will say, given the brutality, it's not that these are not actual elections, okay? But they're all correct from their own perspective. It just depends on the person listening, okay? So that is how BT will look like. There's nothing definitely correct, apart from a few theories. But most of the things are subject to question, some subject to reasoning, okay? So the wider you read, the more knowledgeable you become, and the easier it is for you to choose the correct options. What are the resources available to you? We won't give you the BT study and revision kit. This one has the notes. This one has the questions. Also, the website. So we have the website where you can go and find other resources such as technical articles. Yes. Okay. So this is what you can find on the website. Okay. You'll find our doing courses, introduction to business and technology, examining team approach. Okay. So here you find various reports about how people performed. Okay. In here, the examiner gives insights of what was challenging to the students. This what is challenging to the students has been observed over a range of students. If you see, so the examiner is stressing it out that within the time designated, you should try to make sure that you have attended all the questions. Also, this is the syllabus, then the pass rates. This is the amazing part. See, the pass rates are quite high. Okay, compared, I think this is the easiest paper on the ACCA diet. Here is the passes. We're talking about 85%, 89, 87, 88, 87. Okay. Those are very good pass rates. However, you don't want to be part of the 13%, because I've seen people who are part of the 13%. How do you make sure? You should be decisive. You should right now set a goal and say, the moment we're done with the classes and the revision, I should attempt my exam immediately. Okay? So you set your target clearly, focus, and then you should be able to clear BT within no time. Okay? So those are some of the things we are going to find within BT. Any questions? Do you have questions?
Shall we be able to access
all the slides? Normally, I don't intend to give out slides. Why? Whatever is in the slides is what's in your study kit. Okay, unless the study kit is bothering you at that point, you can ask me for slides. But normally, giving you slides and the study kit, maybe it's out of information, yet it's the same repeated information. So somebody may start reading both of the items. So the study kits, I don't know if you've received the study kits access. Not yet. So when you have access to your study kits, you should be able to see the same content within the sites, the same thing we're going to have in our study kits. I'm using the same company. This is BPP. Also, the study kits are from BPP. Okay. Online class, is there any question? Okay. Then, since we introduced myself, let me just ask for introductions. Yes.
My name is
Vivian. That's enough. Thank you. You can it. Okay. You're welcome to the BT class. Anyone would like to say something? Okay, so that concludes our webinar.